Hello, I'm Alexander Gorlizki, and I live in Brooklyn, New York. I'm originally from the UK, but I've been living in New York since 2002, and I've been coming to India for a long time. I started a studio with Riazuddin in Jaipur 26 years ago now. So most of the work here, in fact, all the work here relates to the work I've been doing with Riaz and Pink City Studio. It's been a long time in the planning, and I was invited to show work, at MAP, and was kind of really interested in using part of the collection as the inspiration for the exhibition itself. So it's got a kind of world-class collection of photographs. Because I've been doing works with photographs for quite a long time, I thought I'd kind of marry those two things and look at the collection. So I was going through the collection and selecting works from it that I was kind of wanting to be quite varied. So there are works that are quite, based on kind of royalty, which is quite a typical subject. But I was also interested in kind of architectural photographs and any kind of street scenes, for example. So the idea of what the camera didn't see was really to do with kind of looking back at old photographs and kind of imagining, first of all, the lack of color, invites all sorts of possibilities. Yeah, that's kind of the way I think of the work. In a sense, if you think of the frame, it's really like a portal into another world. So the idea is that each work is something that you would kind of enter into. And that's certainly the tradition of Indian miniature paintings, which historically were often meant to be handheld. And there's the idea that you would kind of enter into the work. Because it combines photography and traditional Indian miniature paintings, so the colors are very, very. Often they are jewels that have been crushed down. There are a lot of a lot of natural pigments, so they retain the vibrancy, which I think kind of really it's kind of clothes, kind of comes out of the frame. Yeah, storytelling's a really big part of what I do, but the intention is always that while there is a story being told, the way that's interpreted is really very much up to the individual. So I would hope that when you look at a painting, your kind of the story you would tell would be very different to the story someone else would tell. This one is called Men's Retreat, and I kind of really like the idea that this group of men were on some kind of island trying to figure things out. So again, the original photograph is very, very earnest, but when I've put them together, they've kind of lightened up to an extent. So this kind of developed over quite a long time, and then right at the end, the fish came into it. I've often described myself as a pattern farmer by bringing together patterns from very, very diverse range of sources. So the fish were kind of being painted out, and then I kind of realized that they really needed to have lipstick. So that was really kind of the final touch to this work. And again, it really says a lot about Riaz's ability that he can really kind of paint out most extraordinary details, and there are other artists in the studios. Papal, for example, can do these astonishing geometric patterns. So each of the artists has kind of specialism in the studio, and then over the years we've tried to encourage them to kind of learn other techniques. So their repertoire kind of has expanded over the years. I think, no one sees things in the same way. We think we see things in the same way. So in a way, the difference is how you kind of interpret something or how you imagine something. So in a way, the onus, in a sense, is on the viewer of kind of filling in the gaps and kind of allowing something to move their own imagination. So that is what the camera didn't see.